Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know what
It's
time it
that
is.
real talk, straight talk with the
Ooh, you
royal
know what it
queen.
is.
with the
It's
Royal
straight
Queen.
talk
Hey,
with the
check
royal
in Straight
queen.
Talk with the Royal Queen.
Y'all know what time it is. It's
Yeah, yeah,
Straight
yeah.
Talk with the
Hey,
Royal
we
Queen.
straight talking with the
Yes,
Royal
baby.
Queen right
It's
now.
that time when you finna hit that real talk, straight talk with the royal queen.
Bishop, I want to ask you, what's keeping this new generation from coming to church today?
Um, I would say a lack of importance. Church is no longer important.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we grew up, our parents and grandparents, there was an emphasis on church and faith based upon the level of oppression that we were dealing with as a people.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about, I was born in '73. So you're talking about our my parents, grandparents, well, they were coming out the '50s and the '60s.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I can remember even as a kid leaving Pilgrim Baptist Church and on our way home, passing Cherokee Street, getting ready to go down All Good. At the red light, we would pass J.B. Stoner house.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the president of KKK at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So our faith was connected to our oppression.
Mm-hmm.
So now the level of oppression is not the same. Then the end result of that is our level of faith
Mm-hmm.
isn't the same because we're no longer oppressed.
Yeah.
When we're oppressed, we gotta believe God for
Right.
something. You know what I mean? But like now, we're not as oppressed as we are as it relates to things that we're deprived of by the law.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, women didn't have rights. We didn't have the right to
Mm-hmm.
vote. All this stuff, you know what I mean? Jim Crow, segregation, all the things that, especially those that grew up in the South, it left an impact in our grandparents and in our parents where faith was important, where God was important.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost that.
Yeah.
We've lost that. And your grandmother took you to church. You
Mm-hmm.
had to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmama took me to church.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
I did not have to go to church.
Mm-hmm.
If I was at home with my mama on Lemon Street, I did not have to go to church because my mama did not go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's you can see the breakdown
Mm-hmm.
from generation from my grandmama, my mother, me,
Mm-hmm.
my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like all my kids don't go to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them do.
Mm-hmm.
One is in Alaska in the army.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other two, my oldest daughter, my youngest son, they don't go to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My mom didn't go to church like that either. But my grandma, like I told you, she
Yeah.
every Sunday we used to go to the little Paradox Club over there on Franklin Road
Hmm.
Saturday night. We'd be in church like this Sunday,
Yeah.
but we had to be there
Had to
because
be
she
there.
didn't play.
Yeah.
You know,
Had to be there.
do you feel like by this generation not being in the church, the parents not taking them to church, they're resulting to suicide?
I believe that plays a part in the Bible tells us train up a child in the way that he should go. That way, when he gets older, he won't depart from it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So at the end of the day, when you remove church, you remove God, you remove foundation.
Mm-hmm.
See, when I backslid, I had a foundation to fall on because
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in church.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew to do right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like even say honestly, when I made a decision to give my life back to God, this is 5 years after I'm out the feds.
Mm-hmm.
Those first 4.5 years, I was so full of anger, so full of rage. I wasn't thinking about church.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I can remember saying, yeah, all those prophecies, all those people that prophesied over my life, they lied. They were some lying prophets.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my mom would ask me to go to church with her, even for Mother's Day. And I was like, Mom, I'm through with church.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never setting foot in another church.
Yeah.
I was just so angry. I was so mad. I was so much rage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the reason why is because when I went, I'm the provider for my family. So when I went to the feds, My family suffered.
Mm-hmm.
My brothers suffered. My mom suffered. They went through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when I came home, it wasn't no church was the last thing on my mind.
Yeah. Why do you think that a lot of church people are so judgmental?
A lot of church people are judgmental. The ones that are going to be judgmental are the ones that have stayed in church all their life,
Mm-hmm.
and they're judgmental because they wish they had a world experience.
Mm-hmm.
But they're judgmental against people that have done things in the world because they think don't nobody know what they've done in the church.
Mm-hmm.
See that, you know, because I grew up in church, went to the streets in church,
Mm-hmm.
so I see things on both sides.
Right.
Most of the people that stayed in church, all the drinking they did in the church.
Mm-hmm.
All the screwing they did in the church.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not public information,
Mm-hmm.
but you still did it.
Right.
If you
Right.
didn't do it, then how you in church and you ended up with a baby?
Right. Right.
How you on the drums and you ended up with a baby?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they would try to throw their stones at people that have been in the streets, or a girl that used to dance, or you know, a girl that's had multiple baby daddies, and they try to pass judgment on them for that. Like I've had some of my spiritual daughters in my church that have gotten pregnant while they're in church,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not kicking them out the church. We're not throwing stones on them. No, we're gonna love them. The Bible says that love covers a multitude of faults.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna make them feel bad. When a person has done something, they don't need a reminder of what they've done because they live with it every day.
Right.
I mean, I don't need people talking about what I did when I was in the streets. I know what I did. Do you know, Shay, it took about 25 years for me to forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
It took years for me to forgive myself of what I had did to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't need nobody to remind me of what I did when what I did didn't hurt you, it hurt me.
Right.
I live with it every day.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, here's a moment of healing for me, was when the same school that kicked me out my senior year and I didn't graduate invited me back to speak at on the Black History Month program. That was Marietta High.
Yeah.
That was a moment of where I healed, and then to be able to receive awards from the Cobb NAACP, to be able to receive Odyssey Awards, to be able to receive Bishop Devon Phelps Day in Henry County. These are things where God says, I will vindicate you. I will make your name great.
Yeah.
You know, I will bless those that bless you. I will curse those that curse you. You know, so it's really amazing to see. It's almost like my life is like really unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's really hard to believe. Like even when I tell people some of the things, like oftentimes people don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, God does some amazing things, and God is in the blessing business, you know? So you never know how God is going to bless you, how God is going to use you. So I believe in that, and I used to tell people, like, God sees your heart. You know, we not perfect people. He sees your heart, you know. So I try to have a good heart. I don't deliberately try to do nobody wrong, because I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, you know. But keep doing what you're doing, Bishop, you know.
I appreciate that.
Is it anything you want to clear the air about?
No, I think for me, I'm a open book. Um, um, One thing about me is no faking. What you see is is what you get. You know, if I don't deal with you, I don't deal with you.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't like you, I ain't gonna act like I like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So no, I think my life speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And you know how I carry myself, you know, it speaks for itself.
What can we do as a black race to get out here and try to grab the attention of this younger generation?
Be example.
Mm-hmm.
Be it. It's because it's not what we say, it's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be a positive example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I try to be a positive example to my son, my youngest son. He just turned 20 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not what I say to Christian, it's what I do. It's what he sees his father do every day. So I believe the best um, teaching is found in our actions, not in our words, as it relates, because they're looking, they're watching, they're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but we can't give up on them.
Yeah.
We can't give up on them because they are our future.
We
though.
was driving when we was 14.
Yeah, we had
You
to
know.
be.
Yeah,
We had
we
to.
really did. You know, my daughter brought that to my attention. She was like, Mom, I feel like y'all didn't have a choice, but you know, to be like that. We wanted them classic Reeboks, we had to get out there and work for it, you know?
Yeah.
We wanted those dope man Nikes. You remember those?
Oh,
we had to
yeah.
get out there and work for it.
I
you
got
know?
my driver's license. I got my learner's license on my 15th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
The morning of my 15th birthday, I'm like, Mom, I'm ready. Let's go. I drove back.
Yeah.
You know, I got my driver's license on my 16th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So a week later, I had my own car. So we wanted to grow up. We wanted to be independent. We wanted to be successful. We wanted to make it out the projects and break the back of poverty and things of that nature. So just our desire was different. And I believe this generation has suffered because although we gave our kids a lot of things that we did not have and they didn't experience. My kids know nothing about the projects, but in our um, success in giving them what we did not have, we find failure in not giving them what we did, and that was our faith.
Do you feel like we messed up giving our kids everything that we didn't have? Because I mean, when we was young, and I'm sure when you was young, you'd be like, man, my kids ain't gonna have to suffer. I'm gonna get my kids this. But they don't know anything about the struggle.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about the struggle. Like
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
My kids, I've been blessed to have children by two women that are highly successful in their own right. You know what I mean? My three kids' mother, she's the accounting director for the New York Stock Exchange. You know what I mean? My ex-wife, she's a serial entrepreneur, so she owns several businesses. You know, so I've been blessed in that regard. So my kids have never wanted for nothing. That's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
Yeah.
They don't know what it's like to suffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they ain't had to suffer. They ain't never had to. They don't know nothing about no tomato sandwich. They don't know nothing about having to eat an egg sandwich. They don't know nothing about water in the refrigerator from the faucet in the big jug.
Oh yeah.
They don't know nothing about
Nasty.
that. Yeah. They don't know nothing about food stamps, government cheese, spam, pork and beans, bologna sandwiches. They don't know nothing about
Yeah, they
that.
don't.
So,
they don't know anything about. And it's so crazy because I wouldn't dare buy my kids no spam. Just thinking about that got me over here like, ugh.
yeah, but on a good night, old spam sandwich with some cheese on it. You fry that thing, you fry it and get it black on both sides, man. It might still hit for something now.
No, I can't do it. I cannot do it. Definitely,
So,
I want to do like panels. I want to do something with Black fathers and sons. Just like how you said you didn't have a father, but your son did experience having a father. But I want to do things like that. Want to go into the YDC. I want to talk to young girls. It's like a lot. Like God has given me a lot to do.
Right.
So it's a whole lot that I want to do. So
Well, whatever I can do to I have a lot of resources that are at your disposal
yeah,
as relates to different connections that I have
yeah,
in Cobb County, Fulton County, Henry County, Clayton County.
yeah,
So whatever I can do to get you in any type of door, especially in the correctional
yeah,
institutions and things of that nature, I'll make the
yeah.
call for you.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of young girls, they need that. I feel like this generation really, they feel like people just don't care about them anymore. They feel like their parents don't care about them. And some of them don't have parents in their life, and they just feel,
Oh,
I feel like they lost,
that's a whole. You just started. You getting ready to start the interview back up.
Yeah, well,
Because the parents are different though.
Yeah. Oh,
These
yeah.
parents different than they different.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. And I interviewed my daughter not too long ago, and it's like, I think a lot of people when they would see us, it was like, oh, she think her daughter her friend. But then my daughter got here on the interview and was like, she don't play. Cause my kids know it's a line there. I don't have to drag her all up and through the house before. I don't play that. You know what I'm saying? My mama was very old school raising me, and I was very old school raising my kids.
Oh yeah. I'm
My
the
mama
same
didn't play.
way.
When I get too close, you get slapped in the mouth.
Yeah.
She didn't play.
My son know my son know he's 20 now, but a couple years ago I picked him up by his throat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not don't play.
Yeah.
Because I believe my mom I brought you in this world,
and I'll take
you out.
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh yeah. My mama used to tell me, she beat me down. I go to school and tell that teacher she get locked up. When she get out, she gonna beat me down again. That's what she used to tell me. You go to school and tell them you want to. I mean, when I get out of jail, I'm gonna beat you down again.
See, when I was in school, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
When I was in school, the principal could paddle you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got paddling in elementary and in junior high.
Yeah, I heard about that.
In high school, wasn't nobody paddling me in high school. Though.
Yeah.
That was over. You paddle me, you're gonna get hit.
I had Miss Willis, Miss Bryan over at Park Street.
No, I got a paddling. The principal was Mr. Brown.
Oof.
At Westside Elementary School. Then I got a paddling by Big Ben Wilkins at Marietta Junior High. And Richard Baker, he was the assistant principal.
Yeah. So you feel like a lot of parents today do you feel like they scared of their kids or they trying to be their kids' friend?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little bit of both. And you got to think like it's different though. Like Atlanta is different. This culture is different. Like the struggles that we dealt with are unfamiliar to what our kids are dealing with. You know what I mean? Like a lot of girls they're dealing with struggling with their sexual orientation. Boys, same thing. So it's just, and then this is a social media world and culture. So everything is different. So they got way more challenges than what we had.
Right.
And so I don't know. I wouldn't want to grow up in this. I'm glad I grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to grow up in this generation. Like it's just different.
They face a lot. With social media. If we got into a fight when we was younger in the projects, we fought, and 2 days later we was friends again. Now it's like they get into a fight, somebody recorded, and it's like now you got everybody's opinions.
Oh yeah.
I do want to ask you this, since we're talking about social media recording, and I'm sure you've seen this before over the years. What do you think about parents disciplining, whooping their kids on live and video and posting it on social media? What's your take on that?
Now I don't agree with that because I'm not going to do anything to send myself to jail. I just think that's unwise to spank your child and post it. That's just asking for a court case. That's asking to have to make bond. That's asking for having to pay a lawyer to defend you for something. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But I do believe in discipline. I believe if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. So all of my children have gotten their butt beat.
Yeah.
And they're better for it.
Yeah.
Just like I was.
Oh yeah. Do you feel like we was abused when we was little?
I don't I can't say it was abuse. I mean, but I got, it was psychological abuse, yeah, because I used to have to go pick out my own switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to make me go pick out the switch.
Yeah.
And I can't bring back no little one.
Yeah, we went through that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I can remember my mama whooping me with a switch, and I got all these whelps and on my legs, and she take me upstairs, put me in the tub, and now she getting the witch hazel and she crying. You know what I mean? Like, well, if you're crying, then why you beat me like this in the first place?
Yeah.
But my mama never beat me with no stenching cords. I living on Lemon Street, like I seen some real beatings. It's a difference between getting a whooping and child abuse.
Yeah.
I don't think we experience child abuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
I do.
You think so?
Yeah, if we had whips on our legs, that's abuse.
That wasn't child abuse. That wasn't.
But we didn't get hit with extension cords or nothing. But we did have when you have to go outside and get that switch, it's some marks on that leg.
Some marks. I probably still some of these marks probably coming from that switch.
On them legs and arms and stuff, and our hands from holding them out.
Yeah.
But I definitely I feel like we are more grounded and more respectful.
Oh, definitely.
We're not cussing around nobody, grandma.
I still say yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm 51 years. I'll be 51 years old.
Yeah.
So I still have manners.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
All that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not cussing around. Older people. I feel like this generation, they don't care. I mean, they can see this old lady at the store and they cussing in front of her like it's nothing.
They not only cussing, they coming in smelling like weed, and that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah. I broke up with this boy. I invited him to church when I was younger, going to Wright Street, and he came to church smelling like weed, and I broke up with him. I was like, "Did you just come in?" My grandma was like, "Are you serious?" Like, that made me look crazy,
You were supposed to.
I just think that's like.
I'm glad you broke up with him.
I feel like coming to church smelling like weed is like the utmost disrespectful thing you can do. Like, I just don't feel like you should be coming to church smelling like weed. You couldn't wait till you got out of church if that's what you do. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't go to church smelling like weed. You shouldn't come into a person's place of business smelling like weed.
Right.
I had to put a guy that was delivering a Cadillac converter that I ordered for a car, and the guy who dropped it off walked into the dealership, and he walked in. I was like, "I smell weed." He was like, "That's me." I was like, "Sir, can you please step outside?" So what I don't need is one of these Maryland folks come up here and say, "Oh, I told you."
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some weed in there.
Yeah. Do you feel like they just don't know, or they just haven't been taught the right way?
They don't have the respect.
Yeah.
They don't care.
How bad do you feel like the gangs are going to be in the next 5 years?
It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
It's already a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of kids are in gangs right now, and their parents don't even know it.
Yeah.
A lot of parents are in what I would call clinical denial as relates to their children.
Yeah. And then I think some of them just probably ain't paying attention, because I knew this young girl, she had no idea her son was in the gang. She just go to work every day. She come home and the police showed up at her house and was like, "Your son was involved in a drive-by shooting." And she was like, not my son. And they was like, "Yes, your son," and she really had no idea. Because, kids can put on in front of their parents. Now, we did that. We was innocent in front of our parents. And then when we wasn't around our parents, we were cussing and doing stuff we didn't have no business doing. Do you feel like a lot of Black fathers not being present play a big role in this?
Most definitely, and it's amazing that you said that, because over the last month has been Men's Month at our church. So I preached every Sunday, and I closed it out on Sunday just passed, and in my message, I went over 15 benefits of when a man is inside the home. 15 benefits, 15 things that are least likely to happen to a child if a man is present.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of Black fathers are busy trying to still be in the streets, or maybe it could just be, I don't want to be bothered with my baby mama and the kids, or you think the father's still trying to live their life? What do you think it is with Black men and their fathers, and the fathers not being present in their son's life?
It could be a little bit of both. A lot of men have not reached a level of maturity where they can say, although I hate my baby mama, I love my child.
Right.
And then on the flip side too, a lot of baby mamas make it hard.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
They make it hard for the man to be a father, and that's what they don't talk about. They you know, talk down on their baby father, but they don't say the role that they've played in the distance that father has in the relationship with that child.
I think it's back to what you said earlier. You'll take your feelings out of it. I think a lot of women, they've been hurt. You know, and it's like, I don't know, the quickest way to hurt the father is, you know, snatching the kids, you know. But at some point, it was like you said earlier, you have to come together for the kids, because that's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, right? Because at the end of the day, it's really affecting the kids. You know, that's who it's affecting. It's really affecting the kids.
It's like case in point, man. One thing I love about my mother is, regardless of what my dad didn't do, my mother never bashed my dad.
Yeah.
She never talked down on my dad in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I give my mother the utmost respect for that. My mama just different. She is the example.
Yeah.
I thank God for my mama.
Yeah. And I don't feel like mothers should do that either, because I feel like if the dad is not a good father, the child will see that one day when they're old enough to see it or understand it, you know. But I just feel like we have to come together, you know, for the kids. And that was back to where I was talking to you about, you said a perfect example of a blended family, because you don't see that a lot in the Black community. Bishop, you really don't see that a lot in the Black community. And it's very important. So I just, you know, I pray that our race can get it together one day. So
Definitely.
But I want to thank you again, Bishop, for stopping by and doing this interview with me. And I will be calling you back
anytime
for another interview as well. So
anytime,
thank you,
anytime.
and I appreciate you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. And thank you guys for joining me another episode of Straight Talk with the Royal Queen.
Y'all know what time it is.
Y'all know what time
it's
it
that
is.
real talk, straight talk with the Royal
You know
Queen.
what it is. It's Straight Talk with the Royal Queen.
Straight Talk with the Royal Queen.
Y'all know what time it is. It's Straight Talk with the Royal Queen.
We straight talking
Yes,
with the Royal
baby.
Queen right now.
It's that time when you finna hit that real talk, straight talk with the Royal Queen.